It's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Grimm.
Students and scholars, friends and relations, welcome to the Brothers Dim podcast, where we have a thoughtful discourse about the stories recorded by the Brothers Grimm in the early 1800s in Germany, including this 37th of their tales in our edition of the collected stories anyways. Though, of course, not all the collections have the same order as the one we're on. But I think this one tried especially to remain true to the more common ones. But anyway, my name is Phil.
And my name is Mike.
Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm well. I feel, though, I have been having a lot of trouble concentrating lately.
Oh, boy.
I think my ADHD may have kicked into overdrive because if I've had enough sleep, I was like usually okay. I mean, I've certainly failed out of college that first time you met me. Yeah. So I was.
I mean, but who didn't?
Tales of Teenage Dirtbaggery.
Well, you didn't. Rachel didn't.
I failed my first 2 spring semesters, but they didn't kick me out.
Oh, well, yeah, I was not so lucky. But I digress. But I feel like I haven't had enough sleep in well over a year. So, Mike, you've been a parent longer than I have. Is this forever? Am I just gonna be this tired forever?
Are you gonna be tired forever?
Yeah. Do I need? I mean, like, I might go on a run of. So I've got a meeting with a therapist soon, or not a therapist, but like a psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Whoever's got the drugs,
right?
To do an assessment, but because I can't get enough sleep anymore to like keep myself at least a little bit regular. But like, I mean, so all right, here's my question then. And when can I expect my kid to be able to just wake up and play video games by himself on a Saturday?
I'm gonna say maybe 6.
Okay.
Something like that. It depends on how independent you want to encourage your kid to be too. I mean, you can keep your kid in a crib and not teach it that it can climb out for years.
I don't want to do that.
Which is what my parents did to me.
Really?
I just didn't know any better. I'd just be like, get me up.
No, I think, well, yeah, I guess I forced it on my parents because I learned how to crawl out of my crib.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
At a year and a half. And so they had to put my mattress on the floor.
Right. So I guess question number 1 is, how active is yours? When do you predict that happening?
I predict that happening within 5 months.
Yeah.
That we're going to have figure out like he'll sleep, but I don't know that he'll like he's already figuring out how to climb up on stuff.
Yeah. Is he into books?
He likes books.
Put a giant stack of books at the end of his, at the end of the crib, or at the end of his bed, or right on the floor, wherever, like between you and him. And like that, I mean, that used to be a trick for us. We just put a giant pile of books on the foot of the bed for each of the kids, and that would get us to like 7.
All right. Well, we'll say, yeah, I feel like I could play Nintendo at age 7 or so. I didn't super need. Sure. So maybe I mean,
you can buy him a Switch now, and it'll probably keep his attention.
Oh no, I'm avoiding that.
Right.
We're avoiding
exactly.
I'm avoiding the hell out of giving him like a pad or whatever, a tablet.
Yeah.
But I digress. That's just me thinking about my kid. Now, speaking of kids, today or this week, we have story number 37, Thumbling.
Very weird word to say out loud. I was reading it and it was fine. And then in my head, I was going over talking about it on this. And I was like, wait, how do you thumbling?
Thumbling sounds like stumbling, but
right.
Yeah. It's, but then I thought the same thing because of Thumbelina, which is, we'll get into it a little bit later after I kind of go through the story, but, briefly, but Thumbling is where I ended up, I guess. Without further ado, if you don't mind, Mike, I will go through the plot of Grimm story number 37, Thumbling.
Hit it up.
Once upon a time, a poor woodcutter sitting by the fire next to his wife. They chat about how much they'd love to have a kid. My wife Amanda and I did something similar. That's just again why I'm so very tired lately. The wife
Not
then
a
says,
woodcutter, though.
"Not a woodcutter. No, I'm not a woodcutter. Oh God, they're poor back then, but oh boy, they make money now." Wife says, "I wouldn't. I want a kid so bad. I wouldn't even care if he was the size of my thumb. I just want a child." So, lo and behold, God hears this. I guess she gets pregnant and has the kid, but the child is only the size of a thumb, very small. But they're happy. Kid starts growing up. Dad goes out a wood cutting. His son wants to help. The son says, "Dad, you know what? I got an idea. You chop the wood and I will drive the horses." And the dad says, "What?" And the thumbling, or no, and thumbling says, "Well, here's what I got a plan. I'm going to stand in the horse's ears. I'll shout commands, and then the horse will do what I say." So they try it out, and that works great. Dad goes and cuts the wood. Horses, seemingly without any driver, go over to where the wood is, stop exactly there. He loads up the wood there. But some fellas see all of this. They go up to the woodcutter, like, "How did you get your horse to do that?" And then the woodcutter says, "Oh, look, this is Thumbling, my tiny son." The fellas think, "Oh, well, if we had him, we could go on the freak show circuit, right?" So make a lot of money going to town showing this kid off. So up to the dad they go. They say, "Look, let us buy that little kid." The father, to his credit, straight up refuses. But Thumbling says, "You know what, Dad? Tell you what, it'll be fine. Sell me. I'll be back before you know it." So father's like, "Well, all right, if that's what you want. I mean, you're you're an adult, I guess. You're almost 10 now." It's Germany in the year 1820. So now he's with these two jokers wandering through the woods to the next town. But it starts getting dark. He says, "Oh, can you put me down? I just need to stretch my legs." And they say, "Okay." So they put him down. He hops into a mouse hole. And it's like, "Later, suckers." And the guys are upset. They're like, "Well, we just paid all that money." But it's dark. They can't really see the kid. So they eventually saw it off somewhere. Kid's like, "Great. Except that now I'm here, so I don't know what to do. But I'll worry about it in the morning." As he's, kind of waiting for the morning to come, he hears a couple of thieves walk by. The guys are talking about, "Man, that church man, that priest sure is rich. The pastor is rich. If only we could steal all this stuff." And the other one's like, "Yes, I can practically smell the gold." Thumbling hears this, shouts up to them, and he's like, "Listen, hey guys, my name's Thumbling.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm very small, but I'm willing to help you out. You bring me to that church you were talking about. You slip me into the window. Bob's your uncle. I'll steal everything for you." And they said they're kind of like, "I'm unsure," but they said, No, don't worry. This will work out great." So they're like, "Okay, fine." Bring up to the window. They put him inside, and he just starts screaming his head off. He's like, "Yeah, sure. You want me to steal all the gold?" And they're like, Shh, shut up, kid. "What's that you say? Oh, you want the silver too?" Everyone wakes up. They chase the thieves off, and kind of at this point, I was like, okay, I see where the story's going. He's just going to keep tricking people into carrying him along, have a little bit of adventure, but fine. The adventures that were to come were not what I was expecting, though, because grim right turn. Yeah. Now he's in the church, goes and sleeps on a bed of hay out in the barn. But unfortunately for him, hay is for horses, and the woman tosses, brings up, or in this case, cows, I guess, starts throwing the hay towards the livestock. Livestock eats the hay, and he's still sleeping on the hay, so he gets eaten too. So now he's in a cow's stomach. He's upset about it. He starts shouting. Everyone at the church decides that this is now some devil cow. Best kill this cow.
Well, yeah. I mean,
like that movie I saw that one time, Zadar, the cow from hell. But that's neither here nor there. They think it's a devil cow. We can talk about Zadar, the cow from hell, later.
Okay, yeah, let's table that one.
Okay, yeah. They kill the cow, but he's still in the stomach. And before he can escape the stomach gets eaten by a wolf. So now he's in two stomachs. But wolves are notoriously easy to trick. They're easy to escape from the stomach of, as we both know. But for now, he just starts talking to the wolf, and he says, "Listen, I know a place that's got all the best food. It's down the road a bit. You run there. You're gonna eat your fill. The larder is full. It's amazing." So wolf's like, "Okay." Turns out to be his parents' house. Wolf goes in, eats up everything in the larder, but then is too fat to escape. His parents come home. They see the wolf, and there's a good bit of business where the dad grabs an axe and the mom grabs the scythe, and he's just like, okay, I've got to here's the game plan it rather than just go kill it. He's like, I'm gonna hit it, you slice it up. I'm gonna kill the shit out of this wolf.
It's a
But
solid plan.
it's a really good plan. It will work if you need to kill a wolf, I'm guessing. But so yeah, they kill the wolf. Boom, Thumbling escapes. Everyone lives happily ever after. After they make Thumbling some new clothes because his were all gross. The end.
That's it.
That's Thumbling. Yeah. And you,
For a small kid, this is a very long story.
it's another one of those 6-pagers that
Yeah.
all these I see. I'm like, I'm just going through like same thing with last week when I saw 6 pages. I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna take me forever.
Oh yeah, a wishing table and the gold ass and the cudgel.
Gold ass
yeah.
and the cudgel and the
Yeah, that was
sack.
a long one too.
I was like, oh, this is it's gonna take me all night to read this 6 pages.
And then you finish, and then you get to parentheses about a goat.
Do you have a moral?
Oh boy. Take advantage of the malicious intentions of ill actors,
Okay.
and it'll work out. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going back and forth between like, don't let your weakness dictate your life. You know,
Ooh, yeah.
turn it into a strength. Go be the best you can be.
Definitely takes life by the balls.
He definitely does. Again, like right off the bat, he's just like, I can help my dad. I will find a way to help with the wood cutting somehow, even very small.
That's a good point. Yeah, he's instead of being like the lazy, shiftless kid that most woodcutters have.
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, no, Dad, let me help you.
I would love to help Dad.
How nice is it to see a woodcutter refuse to sell his kid?
Until the kid showed agency,
right,
and was like, Dad, do this for me. You know,
actually, I got an idea here.
I got an idea. Don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he was back 2 days later or whatever.
Only because wolves still refuse to chew their food.
Even if he did chew them, he might have missed she's not Tom Thumb. We'll talk about Tom Thumb in a second. He might have missed Thumbling. I was thinking Tom Thumb. This ATU type 700 Tom Thumb, an English folktale which had been around since the 1600s or thereabouts. And
that one goes back.
It does. It's been around forever. And then every country has managed to make a different version of that. With the through line is always the family wants a baby, pray to some degree or another, or whatever, whatever. Oh, I wish that I had this. And they, it's always, even if he was very small, I would love him. And then they have one and it's very small. And then whatever country you're in determines the type of adventure that you have. So this is the German adventure, which is very German. Son of a woodcutter. The mom is spinning.
Swallowed by a wolf.
So yeah, exactly. Like here's a bunch of German tropes. Here's just a bunch of German shit that happens to you when you're a German. You're gonna get eaten by a wolf at some point. They're gonna take a little nip at you. Let's say in the Japanese, there's a Japanese story where like the guy Tom Thumb is like goes to the emperor to be a warrior and join the army. And Hans Christian Andersen had his own, he's from Denmark, a Danish version called Thumbelina, which was Denmark shit happens to her. And Hans Christian Andersen did seem to like female protagonists.
Yeah.
And then, kind of in the pure American version, we have Stuart Little. Did you ever read the actual book for Stuart Little?
I probably read. It was a series, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah,
it was the kind of thing I probably read. Back with the Mouse and the Motorcycle.
Chapter books.
But
yeah, early chapter book, right? So, but it's a very. In the movie, he's adopted. He's just a mouse. The family goes to an adoption agency and pass on all the human orphans. They choose the mouse instead. It's a bad day for orphan self-esteem for all the orphans at that orphanage. But a good day for Mr. Little. He was like, oh, another mouth to feed. Oh no. He's like, oh, how about instead I just get you a pet rat? But in the book, Stuart Little looks like a mouse and he's mouse sized, but is straight up their son. Like Mrs. Little gave birth to the kid.
Yeah.
And he's human. He looks like a mouse and has very New York City in the 40s adventures. And then, the end of the book, the end of the first book anyways, like he moves to He moves to the suburbs and to become a substitute teacher and meets a girl who is his height, but she's human shaped. And he asks her on a date and she agrees, but then then she dumps him because Stuart Little's a sulky little kind of jerk. And that's the most American thing I've ever heard. You stick him in the modern day and it ain't nothing but just incel vibes of like, she went on a date with you. And all he does is complain. He's like, oh, the date I had planned all went wrong. It's probably because I'm so short and I look like a mouse. And she's like, no, you're fine. It's just stop complaining so fucking much. Oh, you probably go after a tall guy. No, I don't want a tall guy. Oh, Jesus. You know what? I'm dumping you. Just stop complaining. Did you have any notes or questions or things you wanted to go over?
Not a whole lot beyond what we've already talked about. It's a long story, but it's very succinct.
It's succinct and it's so covered.
Yeah. There's not a lot open to interpretation.
There's none. You're right. There's almost nothing other than what's just on the page.
Yeah.
I didn't even really have. I mean, it's also been done a million times. I didn't have a great pitch. I was like, oh, I could do. What do you want to do? Dark and gritty Stuart Little. Which what is that? An SNL sketch at best, and one that's already been done. Even that shit's been done. The making fun of dark and gritty. Well, Tetris, but dark and gritty.
Right. Oh, they did that with Mario Kart.
But yeah, Mario, exactly. Yeah, it was an SNL sketch with what's his name there? The guy's
Pascal.
Yeah, Pascal.
Yep.
That's he's running the gambit of nerd.
Must be in every franchise.
I will be in all the franchises. And I will protect this tiny Yoda. Yeah, I don't know. Like you don't even need. So yeah, dark and gritty Stuart Little. You don't need him. He's a ladies' man. He's the world's best spy. He's 6 inches tall. It's tiny spy. He really measures up.
Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah. He's got, or do you want to go this way? He's got the attitude. He's got the skills. He knows what ladies like, and he's 6 inches tall. And he's a fashion designer. And this fall, we're going to learn he's the height of fashion.
Oh.
He keeps a low profile. The brand new star of this tall tale. I don't know. I wrote down some short jokes.
Those are good.
They're not. You could do something. You can make him immortal. He's the secret reason for a bunch of world events if you wanted. But then, like, he could also just do that with you could just put Lucifer in that role and have it be so much fucking better than here's a small, immortal, tiny Lucifer. Grim. I don't know.
I see what you did there.
Lordy Lou. All right. So, well, if you don't have anything else, I don't have anything else. I think we could probably bring this to an end.
Yeah, we can wrap it.
Unless you want to talk about Zadar Cow from Hell, but there's not a lot there either. Oh, okay.
I mean, give me the elevator pitch.
Okay. Oh, let me see. Plot revolved around a struggling Hollywood director who went home to Iowa to try and make a horror film, and he's trying to make the movie The Zadar Cow from Hell, but then all of his friends like just bother him while he's trying to make the movie, and it's and blah 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 blah. And so it's a film within a film, and the Zadar Cow from Hell is the horror film, and then it's just the comedy of him going home and dealing with all of these ridiculous people in Iowa.
All right.
Yeah. Not a lot there. Anyways, so okay, well then if you don't have anything else, and I don't have anything else, then I think we can call this the end of story number 37, Thumbling. Sleep tight, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.